Hello and welcome to Pitch Night. I we're on a hang on, let me get the levels decent. This is gonna have to be a combined effort today because not only is sadly our co-host Morgan unavailable, I assume caught up in man, that's loud. The fires that have been raging, controlled, in case anyone was worried. Are you guys getting this audio? Is this just me? Hello, hello. I'm not seeing any. Oh, hang on. So you guys aren't hearing this really loud music. That's not fair. How do I do this? Screen share. This is what I want. Oh no, is that it? How do you do this? I forget how to do it. Guys, it's gonna be messy. If you do have pictures, send them through. We've got a tight schedule, as you may remember from last week. It can be a little bit difficult to get through it. I've got food here, I've got coffee, I've got the green screen. But essentially we try to get through at least 3 pitches a week. Now that was a whole lot easier when I was doing it opposite someone. So it's going to take, from a dude who's basically come up with Monkey, a fair bit of creativity from me today. It's really fun. But if you would like to pitch, scan the QR code. Join the Discord community. Oh, I don't need to hear that. Yeah, so you definitely can't hear. Definitely can't hear the music. But why is that? Because I should have desktop audio. Let's look into it. This is why I think. Does that help? Okay. Okay, so now you'd hopefully be able to hear. Yeah, this is looking more sophisticated, isn't it? Whoa. Guys. Yeah, I'm pretty satisfied with this setup. I think this is quite a cool effect. It's like you're walking into through the doorway that is the Pitch Night experience. And these solo streams, these studio streams, as I've been calling them, they're an essential part of that. And I don't think I've got it public on YouTube. Maybe at a later point I will make it public. Whoa, what's going on here? Had some printer trying to make changes on a different laptop. No. Not without my instigation, if you don't mind. The music too loud, I would guess. I mean, sorry, too soft, I would guess. It's difficult to tell. Yeah, let me know at any point if the levels are off, because I'm trying to do this using 2 laptops. And as we all know, my primary, which hopefully by next time of a solo stream will be my secondary, is quite terrible at it. I would guess maybe my looks like my microphone could be too loud from time to time. And that bad boy down a bit. I wish. Oh, hang on. I'm going to try and do one other thing first. No. Problem is, so my primary computer is 2011 MacBook. It essentially, I don't know how it's going on streaming, but it's definitely, like streaming right now, but it's definitely incapable of streaming and using Chrome. So I'm using something that vaguely looks like a drummer's setup with two laptops to try and monitor things. Because, you know, we like to bring home the best experience on pitch. It's far easier to keep the editing, isn't it? Far easier. Guys, hope you well. Yeah, let's get back to what we were talking about. So, pitchNIGHT. Pitch your TV show ideas via the QR code or link in the description. Link in the description. Try to get through at least 3 pitches each stream, and vote on those at the end of the stream. Now, last week we had a great selection. One, Samta. Won't go into the plot. If you want to know the plot, go to the previous episode. 2, Jamela, the winner, which was about a tribe in an alternate universe running and fighting plants, and a love triangle with flowers, and a competitor for Jamela's love, another tribe's person, I think. And then we also had Lakeside, which again, for the plot, you need to go to that previous video, which is on YouTube. The link to which should be in the Kick description. Guys, amazing we've made it here this far. It was really shocking what we put out last time, I gotta say. Essentially unworkable. If we can actually get an hour-long stream out of this, like without it breaking at any point, that's a win. We had a few hiccups, that's okay. Okay, so first off, news, personal news. What's going on in the world? Good question. Probably shouldn't have jumped into that one so quickly. Are these levels off? Is that what I'm seeing? Is that what I'm hearing? What I really need is just a second. Maybe this is acceptable. It's going to be pretty painful for you guys, I guess. And this is okay. This is alright. It's a bit dark, eh? Yeah, okay. That'll be fine. That'll be fine. Actually, is it the case that I'm a bit soft? Yeah, it seems okay. Alright, yeah, well, if anyone jumps into the chat, let me know, and we can try and fix that. So yeah, I want to say that I don't want to see the view counts, anything but the view counts. Oh gosh, that's painful. It looks fun. Yeah, it's just a laptop display thing, I guess. Yeah, so much better than last time. Huge part of that is just being vaguely acceptable lighting. And anyway, I digress. Personal news. The bag full of sultanas here. There's one. We got a big bag. You're gonna get through them all. Definitely not. That'd make you very sick. Okay, so there's some backburning going on around where I live. We can't do too long on this because it's got to get into the pitch night subject. But yeah, it's been pretty brutal. I was up most of last night just trying to find a place that I could breathe in clean air. Didn't go well. Did not go well. One of the things we like to talk about here on pitchNIGHT is shows we've been watching. And as we all know, I've been watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine for the last long time. Very long time. I'm still going. Season 6. It is... I want to say there was like a high point at, like, I think it was season 4 or something. There's one particular episode, I'm forgetting what it's called. I wonder if I can find it. That's going to be too difficult. There's this episode, perhaps someone might be able to identify. I could potentially identify it off stream. But so this is a cooking episode. Once you've got your rice cake, layer it with peanut butter. You're halfway to a meal. There's this episode in, I think, season 4 where Dan Peralta and Holt are Captain Holt are interrogating a perp for the entire episode, and it is really a high bar for the season, I would say. And I would say there are moments that are genuinely comedically strong, which sometimes you can find missing in these kind of, how would you put it, these like TV show bonanzas where they're spitting out like a 10-season series that needs to appeal to like a very broad audience, or that does appeal to a very broad audience. But anyway, not sure. Yeah, it's a good show. I don't wanna. Anyway, guys, 15 minutes in, I'm getting nervous because the lines aren't lighting up, and to be honest, it's probably a good thing because I don't know how. Discord's definitely not working today. So if you want to pitch, you gotta do it in the chat. You must do it in the chat. And you're done. Just like that. Rice cake, peanut butter, sultanas. Delicious. We've had we've come close to use the pitches, but I think it was the what was it? The legal contract through them, which is what you want. You want that to happen, because otherwise, you want people to be mindful of what's going on, I think, is perhaps what you would say. But this is unnecessarily sober for the stream, I think. We've already been there. We've covered that. Yeah. Season 6, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I don't know how many seasons there are, but it's a good show. It's a good show. It's pretty smooth. That's something that can be definitely said about those multi-season bonanzas. They're quite smooth. And I think they've become smoother with time, I would hazard to say. I'm comparing it with like Friends, which seem to shake more in terms of quality, and that would be controversial because Friends is very popular. But and also, I'm trying to say, Seinfeld is an interesting one. It became, I think what's interesting about Seinfeld is it started so consistently strong, and then it wasn't that it wasn't strong at the end or solid at the end, it was just stylistically it started to morph. Yeah. Okay, we've hit that 20-minute mark. We know what that means. One brutal pitch, thankfully, to one very, very understanding viewer, yours truly. Okay, pitch one. Right, hold up. It should be the case at least when out on Discord, so that's fine. I was contemplating putting out the tweet, try to get a bunch of people in here for this, but okay, the pitch. That's good coffee. Let me finish this. Gives me time to think too. Good stalling tactic. I should use this in government. Minister, what's happening with education? Just 1 second. Made this rice cake. While you're asking the question, I'd really love to finish it right now if you don't mind. Can you stream to yourself? Is that? Okay, pitch one. Let's do this. Oh, it's difficult to get into the right spirit when you're maybe I have anything I could. Okay, I gotta do this. You really need the pressure of someone else there to get you straight into it. Otherwise, it's difficult not to. So there's this cross-country skiing troupe, right? And they live on the mountains, and so it's a bit like Pingu in the sense that it's set in a snowy landscape, and these cross-country skiers don't realize it. But they're actually just on the other side of a mountain range, from hills, from a burgeoning new township. Okay, so we've got our drama there already. So we've got this like somehow idealistic like untouched society who independently developed cross-country skiing. I guess for them it would just be skiing. And we have, what else do we have? And we have this untouched civilization making first contact or being contacted for the first time by this more weapons powerful and greater economic engine that is this new burgeoning township. And so it's a workplace comedy in the vein of your Brooklyn Nine-Nines and your what's it called? Parks and Recreation. The drama is there is one young member of the cross-country skiers who is always a bad cross-country skier. His name is Alfred. Now, Alfred is actually saying, you know what, maybe it's not such a bad idea. This township is developing right next door. And everyone else is like, you're just a bad skier, Alfred. No wonder you don't mind. And Alfred's like, no, I don't mind them. I think they're okay. Not only do I think they're okay, I think it could be they could make things around here a little bit better. Just as he says that, waste dump comes down the mountain, Futurama-esque wise, and carries it a little bit down. And everyone starts laughing at him. And they say, use your skiing prowess, Alfred. Use your skiing prowess. But he doesn't have any. That's the joke. And so, it's a cutscene and he has to come back up the mountain. But, that's probably getting into a little bit too much detail on a single episodic moment. So there's Alfred. He's your protagonist. He's your upstart. Then on the other side, in the township, there's Jacinta. Okay, and now Jacinta, she's kind of the inverse of Alfred. Jacinta thinks they've got to be more careful. They need to help maintain the original way of life of the cross-country skiers. The skiers, as some say, a little tut-tut in the township. The skiers. That's the name of it, the skiers. So what's interesting is Alfred is actually open to the township idea, maybe because he's a bad skier, whereas Jacinta is actually saying no. And so these guys are initially at loggerheads, but inevitably a romantic interest develops. But it doesn't work out, because as you can see, based on the way I just told that would be very boring. Okay, so I think 5 minutes is more than enough for a pitch. Pros and cons of that pitch So should I do pros and cons of that pitch? By the way, plain rice cake, not good. Really not as good. What is this? Some kind of puffed rice? Yeah, it tastes like that. Okay, so that's the skiers. Pros and cons. It's difficult to do that on your own work. Much easier to do it for someone else's. I mean, I could take a shot, but I'm not sure it'd be particularly interesting. Okay, so skis is number one. Lock that in. So the other week we were talking about sorry, I just thought I saw something particularly interesting. Oh, I like this. I like how I do my computer work on the QR. That's fun. I should mention the YouTube is being stocked up. We have our first pitch up there from past weeks, which is Jamela, the first week winner. First week of this voting method winner. And I think it should be said that we're developing a nice little catalogue there. Taking a little bit of time, but it is getting there. News. Let's change it up. So we got our first pitch done. We've covered Brooklyn Nine-Nine. We're off to a flying start. Got a bit more time before the next two pitches. Hoping someone will jump in. Seems highly unlikely. That's the way it goes. Getting home here. You guys hear that fan? Oh gosh. So, one thing to mention. In terms of the fun facts we brought up the other week was the number of presidents who had okay, so this, I didn't just look this up. But what? Oh my god. What? I was gonna deliver a fun fact, but it really seems weird. The problem is I'm trying to react to myself right now. This is like trying to belay myself. So Crick uses the term up the mountain. It's not easy. It's not easy. If you guys didn't notice, I've been looking at the camera much. Seems like a new Adam Sandler movie is out. I'm looking forward to it. I've got to finish Brooklyn Nine-Nine first, but I am looking forward to it. What can you say about Adam Sandler that hasn't already been said? He seems like a generally inoffensive guy. He's played it well. I don't know him very well. I mean, I haven't followed his career very well or his time in the media, but it seems generally to done well. That's not an easy thing. Clearly, massive hits when he was just starting out. Billy Madison. Billy Madison. What are the other ones? Billy Madison. What are the other ones? What's the hockey one? I'm trying to think. What is that? I gotta look it up. Mr. Deeds. Mr. Deeds, I think it was more on the fun, silly vein, as opposed to the stronger on substance. On like the romantic lines than Billy Madison and who is it? What is Uncut Gems? Well, if we want to look at he's produced so much recently, it's crazy. Seems like every 6 months he's coming out with something new. And it's definitely been, I think, it seems like there was this like renaissance period where he started to like get back into it in a big way. And there are a lot of like hit and miss movies. What was it called? The super serious one where like multiple people are dying. One person is dying. And it had this all-star cast. God, it really works a lot better when you've got any of the details. Happy Gilmore. Oh, gosh. That's the name of the golf one. Yeah, there were a lot of pretty kind of mediocre ones. But out of that period of furious work has yielded these, that's clumsy, yielded these like pretty, I want to say solid, maybe going too far, but like thoroughly enjoyable. Thoroughly might be going too far. Decently enjoyable movies, which that's not a that makes it sound like a put down, but it's not. I think a decently enjoyable movie is difficult to make, and he seems to be reaching that bar at least multiple times, if not a year, then every 2 years, which is crazy. I'm not sure what the deal is. What's that? But it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Latest one, USA night. Invited to my bat mitzvah. Haven't watched it yet. I'm hoping it will be as good as like the basketball one. Oh gosh, I really wish. Uncut Gems, I know that name. That one's really solid. Yeah, it's a bit trite to say it flexed his. Now let's not even go there. He's an actor. I think his streams like they banned in China. Excessive eating streams. I'm on to my third rice cake. My second with peanut butter and sultanas. We did seems like the lighting may be a bit crap, but we can make it better for next studio stream. We're currently sitting just outside the bathroom, which is why you might be able to hear. I don't know why I left the fan on. That really wasn't necessary, but it is kind of a comforting background noise for me. Distract myself from myself a little. One concept on this stream has been developing week by week the infrastructure for, I think most likely would be, it would most likely would be a cartoon, but I guess it wouldn't have to be, for the show. Yeah, maybe I should pitch that to Morgan. That's an interesting idea. He may go for a non-show architecture more. Anyway, develop the infrastructure week over week, such that should we have pitches, we could, if a community had selected a pitch, we could express that pitch using the architecture we had developed over that period. I need more coffee. Yeah, it's a bold plan. I'd be interested. I wish we had viewers, because I know that's not gonna look good. But good to actually get some new ideas on TV shows, because despite the fact I do have Brooklyn Nine-Nine still, and I do have this Adam Sandler movie coming up, I do feel a bit at a loss as to new TV shows to watch, so, or films, so. Okay. We got 20 minutes to go. Still 2 pitches left. It's intimidating. I know. This guy's scared. But, I think he could be tired for a second pitch. Oh, well, this is hard. Okay. Pitch. Maybe it would help if I just turned around a bit. How does this look? Is this good? Is quality entertainment? I'm gonna assume you can still hear me. Okay, yeah, this makes this makes it easier. Okay, so it's pitch time. Jennifer is a young student, just starting out her studies in anthropology, when she meets cantankerous Professor Julian Reichman. That's a provocative name. And they battle back and forth in a platonic way. Not everything has to be romantic. There's Yeah, that's more disconcerting than I had realised. Let's turn back around. They battle. Jeez, look. I can see how that looks. It looks very disturbing. She's managing Julian. She's managing her parents. She's coming to meet new people right there at Ola State University College. She has to get to know other college students, some of whom are less outspoken than her on some issues. But she's not outspoken on social issues or issues that fall party to major current conversations. She's more outspoken on facilities management type issues. When you're going to make these desks look good, the bubbler doesn't bring up much water, that kind of thing. Oh, the Sultana. Now, it's not there yet. She has to manage her outspoken ways and her kind of pranksterish clawing at people, including Julian, who's a far more serious man. Sometimes he takes her too seriously. For example, the blackboard's not completely wiped out. He gets quite upset about that. She has to manage that, making sure she stays in college. She doesn't get in too much trouble. As well, she's enjoying that. She also wants to be a good student. She at least wants to complete her degree and for it to be useful. Let's talk about some other characters. Tommy. Tommy is a friend of hers. Tommy enjoys her antics and sometimes pushes her forward, eggs her on. But also as soon as she gets any attention, he seems to shrink back and encourage her to shrink back too. He's more of a concept upstart than a real world one. When Tommy's not with Jennifer, as I know, then he's clawing to get back into the good graces of anyone that he has and to appease anyone he has perhaps offended or targeted with Jennifer, or Jennifer's targeted at his encouragement, or at least in his passive support. Okay, so it's called Upstart New York. Man, that's good. That's good stuff. Okay, so let's recap. Let's do a quick recap, just so we don't forget. We've got the skiers. Wow. Top stuff. We got Upstart New York. we're really getting into some flesh and bones here. It's hard, and I guess most people stream with something to do. They don't try to just talk. How does anyone try to just chat to themselves the entire way through? I guess they would usually respond more to viewers, something like that. Yeah, it's peculiar, just like my pronunciation. It's okay. I've got water here too. Right, there's not a whole lot of time left. That's okay. We don't have much to say. I'm trying to think of some current affairs to spice this up a little bit more. I know it's been pretty heavily pitch focused. The strikes, my understanding is the strikes are ongoing in the writing, acting ecosystem of jobs, productions. Sorry, I'm not looking up much of the. I know I'm not apologising to many people, but it's better if I can get into that habit. So that's going on. Pretty interesting. I haven't actually heard of any great developments. I don't know how useful this is for you, but it's pretty interesting that maybe this is what I need to do more. It's pretty interesting that sometimes they're taking this fight. It seems like such a David and Goliath type battle. And I don't just mean, I don't really mean even in just like the power dynamics of kind of employee, employer, massive economic units versus a group of individual people fighting it out. I meant more like, it seems like they're trying to wage a fight against the tide of technology. That's how that's kind of seems what they're up against. Maybe that's too premature to say. And perhaps part of the development or how that technology plays out is this period of negotiation with how it's applied. I'm pretty satisfied with that idea. Anyway, we don't have any more time for that. It'll be interesting to see what happens. It'll be interesting to see how they can resolve that, because it does seem. It seems like they got their work cut out for them. Pitch 3. We need pitch 3. They've had the Skiers. Had Upstart New York. That's pretty good. That's a good name. I'd like to go with something a little bit different. Pitch 3. No one wants to pitch, just me. It's me. A 38-year-old father. His teenage son just starting to kind of more significantly live his own life. The father is finding himself with more time to himself. He has a wife. Her name is he has a partner. His name is Matthew. Wait, have I given the father a name? No. Matthew, Jake. Jake is the father I was talking about, the 38-year-old. Jake is married to Matthew. They have a son. It's all about cars. We can fix that. Fix that in post. His name is Goliath. Not inspired by our recent discussion. Jake is finding himself, in some senses, he's come into his element. He's got a full-time job. He is an accountant. But he enjoys his work. There's a swagger about him in the workplace. He's got a nice office. And people are good to him. He does his work well. Matthew's in communications. His life is hectic. He's always on the run. He seems very strong at his job. And Jake, finding himself now established in his work with a kid who is living his own life. What was the kid's name? We got Jake. Matthew. Jake is the main character. Matthew is his partner or husband. Did we give the song name? Oh god, this is... Oh yeah, Goliath. Goliath is living his own life more and more. And so he's finding himself in this kind of almost sweet spot in life where he's comfortable economically, things are interesting yet smooth at work, and he's got a kid who, they get into their scraps and their scrapes from time to time, but generally it's all chugging along around him. And in a sense, that's part of the problem. And also part of the pleasure. He finds himself not really at loose ends or at a loss for what to do. His time is usually taken up, but there's a little bit of RAM left over, a little bit of space left over. He's not completely absorbed or distracted like Matthew is, he's been there. Earlier in his career, he was there, and not that long ago, he was there, but he's not. And so, it's about Jake. It's about the relationships he has with friends, with his partner, with his son Goliath, in this kind of cradle of satisfaction. The day-to-day workings with people. Going to the shop. Hey, what just happened? What are you doing? What the crap? I've been compromised. What the hell is crap? What the crap in here? Just logged out of itself. Can't do that. I control you. Not the other way around. What the crap? Sorry, this is sidelining the pitch. Well, I had a window open and it's just closed itself. How is that even possible? What the crap? Anyway, that is frustrating. So he's got this additional space in his life, and the question is, does he try to change something about it? There's this constantly, so there are these episodic stories. You know, he has run-ins with people at the store, that flavor up thing. But there's this unused or this unresolved question as to whether or not his life should be something else, something more, or there should be something else in his life. And the show is about contemplating what that alternative might look like, and perhaps even at the risk, it won't get dark, but at the risk of making things, of shaking things up a bit, dipping a toe in those alternative lives. And I don't mean anything particularly dramatic. I mean more like you know, does he do theatre? Does he do a theatre one day a week or something like that? Okay, and that's called JQ and Goliath. Oh, that's a bad name. That's called Jacob. That's called Jacob. Good name for it. Alright, that's the third pitch. Wow. Am I impressed that I was able to pitch 3 things? Not particularly. Am I impressed with the quality of the pitches? I think I would have to. I think they were okay. Could have been worse. Yeah, definitely could have been worse. We potentially have a viewer. Sorry to make you feel. Although I guess that could be, since I've just opened up another instance of this. Maybe I was wrong about it closing itself. But if there is, sorry to make you feel uncomfortable. I'm acknowledging you. In case there is a viewer, we've had our 3 pitches. Plan is 3 pitches a stream, and then we have to vote on the best pitch. Well, we had no pitches come in on the line today. A shame via that QR code, but the show must go on. So I pitched them all. It's time to vote. The first pitch was the skiers. It was a story about a group of cross-country skiing natives who get a rude new neighbour in a burgeoning township. And Alfred, one of the skiers, a bad skier, thinks it's okay, whereas one of the township people think it's a bad idea. And so drama, and there's fighting, and Alfred's a bad skier, and so yeah, there was that one. It enchantment. I think there's a new cartoon by the creator of Futurama. Disenchanted. It reminds me of that a bit, just with like a different scenery and perhaps as opposed to one main character, 2. Yeah. I mean, the strongest thing to that pitch, I think, was a slapstick component. reminiscent of like Futurama. So let's leave it there. We'll come back to that in the voting, but not optimistic it's going to win. Upstate New York was a pitch about, gosh, I should write down these names. Upstate New York was about a young woman going to anthropology school, and she gets into, she's a bit of an upstart, hence the name, gets into squabbles, particularly with Julian Reichman, one of her professors, presumably of anthropology, about small things like facilities maintenance and not the blackboard. So she's just kind of, yeah, she enjoys making problems for the professors. And her friend, I wish, we'll have to add this into a clip. Her friend, Tommy? Is that right? Her friend Tommy, I wish I knew her name. It's not Jennifer, is it? It could be Jennifer. Jennifer and Tommy. Tommy eggs her on, except when he's outside of her company, then he tries to claw back any offence he in her company may have caused people. But she wants. Oh yeah, anyway, that's upstate New York. And then there's the third idea, which was, so we've had the skiers, cross-country skiers, we had the upstart New York, and then we had Jacob established in his career, partner, husband Matthew, son Goliath, and he's contemplating adding new things in. So Jacob is closer to, like, in terms of premise, closer to like your Curb Your Enthusiasm or your Seinfeld, in the sense that a huge amount of story doesn't flow naturally from the premise. It actually also reminds me a little bit of Community, but you know, I may be just listing TV shows now. Anyway, all right, those are the options. Seems like we actually do have some viewers in here, guys. Good time to tune in. It was whenever there's just one co-host. Morgan's been off. Morgan's off today. It is quite rough. A technological leap, but I know that's more interesting to us, and me particularly, the host or co-host, than you guys. If you do want to vote on those three pitches, let me know if you need more information. But if you do want to vote, put it in the chat. Just type in which one do you think. I think I could be the only dude voting, so I think I have to vote. Okay, it's crunch time. I gotta decide which one. The skiers. I like the landscape. I like the scenery. And I do like the dynamic of kind of a klutz in Alfred being kind of like the moral leader and embracing the township. I'm not sure it's enough. Upstart New York is clearly the most like character driven of the premises of the pitches we've had so far, and I think in that sense, or on that basis, it's probably one of the more powerful. And at the same time, I would say, at least in so far as it has been pitched, it seems quite limited. Essentially, what we've got is basically just a relationship dynamic between her, Tommy, and the professors. Now that's all well and good, but you really do need some substance narratively, or the novelty of that relationship dynamic really plays out quite quickly, or diminishes quite quickly. And then we have Jacob. Probably can't recap these too many more times. Which I think is most interesting in terms of its, in kind of the realism or the relatability of the premise. And yet, in being, I think, a bit vague. Yeah, I think it's the most realistic and relatable and perhaps the most appealing in its premise, but because and yet kind of on the other side of that coin is the fact that it lacks a little bit of detail and direction and outline. All right, you guys, if anyone wants to vote, vote. I think I've come to my preference. I think I got to decide. It's difficult to choose between, but I think I'm going to. I can't type. Damn it. All right. I'm gonna say 3, 2, 1. I won't look, and then I'll say mine, and then based on, it's gonna be just based on mine, presumably. That'll be it. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Oh god, I gotta decide. The skiers, Upstart New York or Jacob. Oh man. I think I gotta give it to Jacob. Let me explain. They all have their appealing sides. I don't think I could sanction another. The Skiers just seems too close to a Futurama-like show, and those shows are great, but I don't think there's anything kind of novel there that would go, yes, we need this to be a new show. Upstart New York, it's fun. I like the characters. There's a good dynamic there, but also there's a superficiality, is that a word? To that dynamic, which I don't really enjoy. It's kind of too limited in its pitch, or in the description of those characters, and that's a little bit unsatisfying. Jacob, I think it's almost the fact that it's a blank canvas and an everyday man's life that makes it, I think, the strongest of the three. There is room to explore. It actually reminds me a little bit of Friends from College, which is a show that streams on Netflix. I guess, in a sense, it's like the kind of young professionals just being established in their working lives and relationships, that kind of thing. Yeah, I think that would appeal most. So Jacob's the winner, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Unfortunately, I have to put Jacob up on YouTube because that's the rule. So, whereas I may not like to see. Anyway. Definitely. Anyway. Yes, guys, we have the YouTube there with past pictures. Last week, Jamela won. Past streams are there too. This is an hour-long stream each Thursday, 10 p.m. EST. We've got our Twitter. Follow us for updates on, what is it? P_TCH_night. Very easy. Links there in the description. But thank you very much for tuning in. Hopefully by next time we'll work out how to raid so the end of these streams can be a little bit less awkward. But yeah, thank you. Till next time, it's Pitch Night.